Hi everybody, I'm back. I've recovered from my sickness and I'm in Los Angeles right now. I've been in Los Angeles for about 2 months now, and I got a few more weeks to go before I leave. And while we're at it, it's been a wonderful experience because Los Angeles absolutely sucks and there's a lot to do here. Warner Brothers is right over there, Universal Studios is over there, Disney's over there. Yeah, it's been well worth the experience. I went to the beach, but I didn't come here to vacate. I came here to intern. So I interned with some film companies. I got to do some script coverage, do some editing in a film office, be on set. I got to do some pitches, and that's been a very good experience. And one of the things I took advantage of while I'm in LA is that I've gone to the movies because there are a lot of great movies that are only released in LA and New York, and most people don't get to see them until they're on DVD, like myself. But while I'm in Los Angeles, I thought, let's take advantage of the location and see a great movie that's only out in LA. So while I did see Super 8, which I liked, X-Men First Class, which I didn't like, I don't like any, I haven't enjoyed any of the X-Men movies, and I saw Thor, which was good. I saw The Beaver. I like The Beaver. I thought I like that, yeah. And I saw a movie called The Tree of Life, directed by Terrence Malick, written by Terrence Malick as well. And it was a very good movie. Terrence Malick made The Thin Red Line back in '98. I still haven't seen that. I got to take advantage of that, and I gotta see that movie too. And I will see it at some point. But until then, The Tree of Life, that might be the best movie I've seen so far this year. We're halfway into the year. There's still a lot of movies to go, but so far this is the best one I've seen. It's a wonderful film, a wonderful art house film that I saw at the ArcLight Cinemas. If you've been to LA, you're probably familiar with that. And so it's a very unique artsy film, and it stars Brad Pitt, Jessica Chastain, and Sean Penn, and it starts out, with Pitt and Chastain. They're old, they're a couple, and then you see Sean Penn. He's reflecting on his past, but that's how it starts, and then a half hour to 45 minutes of that movie is just a lot of science and imagery, and you just gotta focus. You gotta examine all the scientific images that you're seeing. You just gotta examine it and get into it so that you can get into the rest of the movie from there. So as I'm sitting there watching these images, I'm saying, is this the kind of movie I go see in theaters? These aren't the kind of movies I don't see until they're on DVD. Then again, I'm in Los Angeles, so let's take advantage and watch it while it's in theaters. So I stayed in the theater. Yeah, I'm not a guy who walks out on movies. Yeah. And I really got a good experience out of it. It was well worth the time spent. I remember when the credits were rolling. I always stay during the credits because I like to read the credits. The only time I don't stay is when I don't like the movie. And as the credits are rolling, I see a man and a much older man leave the theater, and the younger man says, "Boy, you're not into those kind of movies, are you?" And the older man says, "Yeah, very artsy. Yeah, I don't watch them." I thought that was funny. But moving along, when the movie ended, I left with I looked very blank-minded. I drove to the apartment very quiet, and boy, I just couldn't get it out of my head. It's been a month since I've seen it. I've given it a month to sink in, and now I'm ready to talk about it. After those scientific images are over, then you get to see the humans again. You get to see Pitt and Chastain. They're young lovers. They marry, they have a child, they have a second child. We watch them raise those two sons, and one of those sons grows up to be Sean Penn's character. But the story is not told in a narrative kind of way. It's told in this raw kind of way, even more raw than a documentary, which makes it stand out. And I think it works, because we watch these two sons grow up, these two brothers. They run around with friends, they run around in the woods, they beat each other up, they wrestle, they play with sticks, they play with a pop gun at one point. They constantly get hurt because they constantly beat each other up. And as I'm watching, I can't help but think about my past, and I think that's what this movie wants you to do. It wants you to think about your past and see how it relates to this family growing up in the 1950s. And as I'm sitting there watching it, I think, man, I didn't grow up like this. I didn't grow up with brothers. I didn't beat each other up. I didn't get dirty and messy like that. And maybe that's why I'm the way I am, because I grew up with sisters. I grew up with 2 younger sisters. I was the oldest, and I didn't grow up beating other people up and getting dirty and messy. I wrestled with my dad when I was a kid in the single digits, and I was a football player, so I got the boy experience, but not the brother's experience. And I'm thinking, maybe that's why I'm the way I am. A guy tells me, I'm going to wrestle you, and I'm like, no, I don't wrestle. And, I want to take care of everything I've got, make sure everything's clean, even though I still get messy every now and then. But, that's what makes the film very unique. And, that's why I left so quiet, because it got me really thinking. It really got to me, and that's what this movie wants to do. It wants to get you thinking. And, for the Brad Pitt fans and the Sean Penn fans, it's not your typical Brad Pitt or Sean Penn movie. It's an art house film, and you gotta appreciate it for what it is. So if you're willing to appreciate it for what it is, go out and see it, because it's very worth the experience. It's very worth your attention. And, that's, why it took an entire month for me to think about the movie before finally sitting down to talk about it. And, that's what I have to say about it. On a scale from 0 to 5 stars, 0 being horrible, 5 being fantastic, I give it 4.5 or 5. I still can't come up with a good rating for it. And, but that's one of the things I've gotten out of LA, going to see movies like this while they're in theaters. Other than that, did I mention I went to the beach once? I went to the Produced By conference at Disney Studios back at the beginning of June. I'm going to be at Comic-Con next week. That's right. Yeah, anyone else who's going to be at Comic-Con, give me a shout out. I want to see you there, because that's going to be a blast. And I'm still willing to work as much as I can while I'm here in LA, and when I get back to Philly, I'm going to make myself very busy with more videos, and that's what I have to say. So it's been nice talking, and I look forward to the time I have left in Los Angeles. So toodles.